Okay, so let me just do a check, yeah. Sometimes it can be a bit slow when Zoom tries to talk to Facebook.
它会
Okay,
有那几秒。
对对对 okay, it's already live. All right, okay, let me introduce first. Hello parents, this is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box, and today we have our 49th guest, and her name is called Kate Tan. Hello, Kate.
Hello,
Hello. Okay, Kate, you're the
morning.
founder of D Editors Pte Ltd, as well as interior design consultant, and is specialized in residential and Showflat designs. And today, your topic that you're going to share with us is the ultimate design tips for kids spaces. And the reason why I brought you up here is because, okay, first of all, is also for myself. Yeah, so my house is really messy because my kids will put their things all over the place. Okay, so could you share with us your backstory, like how you ended up doing what you love, what you're doing today?
It's very interesting because I have never thought that I will be in the interior design trade
Ah,
when I was young. Yes, because I really hated mathematics, and I can't even draw. My mom sent me to the school, and I tried to pick up drawing skills, but I realized that I can't. So I do not know why, but naturally I went into music.
mm-hmm.
I ended up with a passion in music, and then I still recall that I tried to take part in a lot of ECA that involve in music that involve singing on the stage, attending, participating in singing competition in schools and outside as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I thought that I thought that I may ended up being a singer lah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my dream. I wanted to sing, and because I love singing so much, and I just want to be a singer. So I
Mm-hmm.
keep dreaming and dreaming about being a singer. And
Mm-hmm.
my mom was trying so hard to stop me from from going into that direction because she feels that 没有
Mm-hmm.
前途 in Chinese there's no future.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but that's not true though.
Mm.
That's not true because I learned that if you are passionate in something and you seriously want it so badly and you want to pursue your uh, ambition, you will go all the way for it. Yeah, there are people who are very successful, and of course, there are people who drop out of their dreams halfway through because the determination is not there. And and so what happened was right after I didn't pass very well for my O levels. Seriously,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. And there's nowhere that I can go, but I only know that I have this one and only skill set besides singing, and that is uh, some fine arts drawing fine arts
Fine
like
arts.
drawing an apple or dumplings, or I'm very good at that
Wow.
because over the years, right, and especially in my secondary school days, I started to pick up pencil sketches. So I don't know why, but I realized that somehow I got better and better,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that maybe I can use these skills to apply for a course in Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts.
Wonderful. And I like the part that you said that you started off that you are not very good in math. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you go into fine arts, so is it a total escape away from maths? Because I think many kids told me that it's okay that they are not good in maths because they can explore the field of like arts or design where they don't need maths at all.
Oh, that's another interesting part about I hated a subject, but in the end, I have to do so much of it. Okay, I thought that naively, I thought that interior design is a course where I can just draw, some scenery and then a interior perspective, a 3D angle. But and then I thought that since I'm in secondary schools, I am not in a technical stream. I should be focusing a lot on drawings and sketching, and that's what I like. But who knows, right? When I enter into the course, I didn't realize that I have to do so much calculation. Starting, okay, the first year was quite enjoying because yeah, we have to do sketches, we have to learn about forms and shapes and architecture, conceptualization, because I study in interior architecture.
Mm.
But when it comes to the second year,
Mm-hmm.
life change. Second year, right, I have to start doing drafting. We have to do drafting, and that is like going back to secondary school days where you are in your technical stream. You have to start uh, doing hand drafting on of a sectional elevation of a chair or a table, or an elevation of a kitchen, and that's where all the figures start to come in, and then you realize that everything is right down to the decimal point,
Mm-hmm.
point something, and you have to be so accurate. So and then when it gets into the real life where I'm serving the society,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I have to do quotation. I have to do bills of quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for my design and build project. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was a very amazing journey. I do not I do not expect myself to develop and transform into a different person from who I am in the past. Even today, right now, we are having this webinar. Um, I have no idea the about how am I going to present until I don't know what. It's just very amazing when you start laying your hands on the laptop, and then you start doing
Mm.
things. Things just flow naturally. Yeah, and you have to start calculating how many slides you're going to present. So it's all every day we are dealing with money. Everything is really boils down to the figures and the dollar and cents. Yes. So
Yes,
it's very
and
important.
yeah, and I agree with you that everything goes to the details. Yeah, and actually, in fact, we had a long conversation just before this one. Yeah, when I first met you in Zoom, and I remember the story about doing like a show flat. For example, if there's a space between the bed and the nearest cupboard is say maybe 10 cm, but once you put in the blankets, is it blanket and the protector or what's the
Oh,
third layer?
okay. It's the bed sheet, the protector, and the bed cover.
Yeah.
So nowadays condominium size, right, are quite standard.
Yeah.
So from the edge of the wardrobe to the edge of the window is
Mm-hmm.
probably going to be like 2.8 meters to 3 meters. If
Mm.
you're lucky, you get 3 meters. Yeah. But then you have to minus off the curtain space, and depending on what sort of window treatment are you opting for. So if let's say you need a day share and you need a night, then you need two layers, which you will require about a 200 millimeters gap space to fit in your window treatment nicely and allow it to flow well, right? You certainly do not want them to cramp together. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have to allow, probably nowadays people like to go for 1.2 no
Mm.
super single bed instead of single, right? But let me take single bed as an example. So if I allow like roughly estimated 1 meter space for the bed, I still have to technically I have to uh, allow for 30 to 40 millimeters, right? Um, on both sides of the bed to allow for the bed sheet, the bed cover to flow over. And then before you reaches your side table is about 400 to 500, right? Nowadays you hardly can get a 500, yeah, unless you customize it. And
Mm.
then you have to still consider, depending on your wardrobe, if it's a swing door or it's a sliding door. If it's a sliding door, that means that you have enough space between the edge of the bed to the wardrobe, for a human size to stand. And then and then uh and between the bed to the window, you also have to allow for the space as well. Yes, so you have to take into consideration all these calculation, right, in terms of the traffic flow around the bedroom to make the user feel comfortable.
Wow,
And
there's so much details going on
it's a
inside
lot of details,
planning
and
of a room.
also yes, and a lot of people, in fact, even designers, sometimes fail to see the importance of the relationship between the wardrobe height, the total wardrobe height versus the bed distance between the wardrobe and the bed. Yeah, because if let's say you have a very high ceiling, a lot of times, right, users would love to have more storage space or hanging space. People who socialize a lot, right, they would love to have double tier hanging space, but you cannot reach because the standard height for you to reach to the hanging rod is about 1.8 from the floor to the center of the hanging rod. Yeah, right. But anything that is higher than that, you have to use a pull down mechanism. Yes.
Yes, and I know that you have also prepared some slides to share with us, because I think a lot of this it goes back into your expertise of planning spaces. Yeah. So could you share with us what you have prepared for us? Because I think many parents are keen, as especially when we know that our rooms are very messy, and if you find yourself always chasing your kids, go clean up, go clean up your mess, go clean up, go put your things back into the proper place.
Yes, that's right. But you know what? After doing so many jobs, right, I realized one thing. It is not the kids that you have to manage. You have to manage the parents as well. Yeah. Because a lot of times parents expect the kids to be organized, but they themselves are not organized.
Oh dear.
That could be, I mean, some scenario. But
Yep.
of course, some clients, right, of mine, they will make decision for the kids, as in what style should they be adopting for the bedroom, for their bedrooms, or where should they be studying, and oh, that's fine. But you know, nowadays, right, there are few clients category that I want to lay out. Okay, one is our local parents, right? They tend to be the protective type, and they plan to they tend to plan a lot for the kids, as in how they should run their daily life. But when I work with probably foreign clients, right, they will communicate with the kids. They will ask the kid for their opinions. They will engage the kids in the decision-making process. They will ask them, you know, what color do you want? What theme do you want? Is there anything that you want to share with the designers? You know, so the communication process part is totally different. Yeah. And because of that, right, from what I learned from the working with the foreign clienteles, I learned how to educate the local clientele more by encouraging them to dig deeper into what their kids really want for themselves. And the common question that I will always ask, the first thing I will ask the kid is, show me your painting. Yep, show me your painting. It's because, right, painting reflects the inner self. It reflects the character of the kids. Yeah. So I have encountered kids that painted black, right, which reflects a lot on the very dark side of how their thoughts and minds are. But there are kids who also painted pink or colorful stuff, and you know, and that's how I read a kid. That's how I read them, and that's how before I start any design for them, I always start off with asking about colors.
What about instances that the kids don't draw or color at all? So how do you get information without the kid telling you anything?
Okay, first of all, right, I will always look into his wardrobe. to study him, right, you have to look into his wardrobe, his stationaries, his bags, his water bottles, especially, right? The colors that he likes. Because some kids they have trouble in expressing themselves, right? So I believe that most of the time when they are using certain things, right, parents will definitely ask, "Oh, 你要什么颜色? What color do you like?" And then if they keep picking that color, it shows that that is the color that they like. Yeah. So, but of course, having said that, it all subject to the age of the kids. I mean, if it's too young, definitely I can't be asking them what color do you like. But nowadays, all the kids they have a mind of their own, even at a very young age. So it's not difficult to communicate with them. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, and my youngest is 3. Yeah, so you'll be surprised that if you ask her what she likes, she can tell you, or she can at least point.
That's good. That's good. Most of the kids can, in fact. Yeah. Yes. So just have to be patient with them, and just go slow when you approach them with questions. Yeah. Sometimes they get distracted. Like halfway through, I can be doing a brief with a client, and then the kids can be running around, and then it's very hard to get the kids to settle down. It's okay. Just spend that probably 2 hours time to just wait patiently for them to come back. Yeah. Just ask them one question at a time.
Great. Yes,
Yes.
and I know that you have slides to share.
Yes, I do.
I think in the interest of time, I also would like you to share with us all that you can share, because I know that you have spent a lot of time. Actually, what Kate did is was she actually sent me a few drafts. Yeah, so I'm so impressed. Yeah, so I know that Kate's actually put a lot of work into the PowerPoints, which I was also inspired by how she played with colors. Yeah, so I thought the parents will really need to see it.
Yep.
Okay, so you can do your share screen any moment. Okay, wow.
And can
Nice.
you see the full screen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I chose yellow because yellow is a sunny color. And I hope that for those who are watching the live now, feels happy when I start running through the slides. So today I'm going to share with you the ultimate design tips for kid spaces. Right. All right. Okay, I'll talk about myself. Okay, I own my own interior design company, and I've been practicing in interior design trade for 24 years since I graduated in 1996. I started out very young at about age of 19. I was already in this line, and what really caught my interest is when I started off my working experience with a Japanese company. I worked there, and I'm so impressed by how Japanese work, especially in their technical knowledge, and also the amount of attention that they pay to every single details in their design. And that really changed my perspective of how an interior designer should be, because it's not about just coming up with a style for your design, but it's really how to design with an overall concept, and then to add ingredients. The ingredients are the details that I'm referring to add the ingredients to support your design, to make it timeless, functional, and something that really lasts and doesn't just go out of a trend within 1 year or 2 years, right? And it has to be flexible as well, so that your client do not have to revamp their renovation after 2 to 3 years just because they are sick of the design. Yes. And then I'm also involved in luxury homes, Showflat, sales gallery. And in 2002, I was stationed in Shanghai, and I have completed 2 blocks, which one block is a service apartment, the other block is a residential block, as well as a public space for clubhouse and lift lobbies. And then I was also involved in restaurant design, an officer's design. So there's a lot of things that I've tried in the past and spent adequate time on them, because it sounds like I'm jumping from one job to another, but no, it's because the companies that I joined, right, they are specialized in a lot of things. So I stayed in my first few companies for almost like 4 years. I have to make sure I'm the kind of person who I will make sure that I stay long enough to learn something before I'm out of the company. Yeah. And so then after I came back in 2005 from Shanghai, I continued doing Showflats. I was really into Showflat, and I've completed almost like 200 units. I can count, really can count. Yeah, because when I look at my portfolio, I feel like I am a truly workaholic then. Yeah, I work 7 days. And yeah, every day is until 3 4 a.m. I don't know how I survive until today, but nowadays I don't work as hard as before, but my focus has shifted to education, right? And then lately I have completed Van Hollen Showflats at along Buona Vista MRT, and Westwood Residences was before. And then for the past few years, I've been focusing more on high-end residential, such as Gramercy Park, New Futura, Amor Tree, Marina Bay Residences. And then for the past 1 year, I have shifted my focus back into good class bungalow and landed properties. Yeah, because my persona has changed. I realized that throughout the years, right, of practice, my persona has started to change, and now I'm more servicing an age group between probably 45 to 65 kind of clientele range. Yeah, but still, I'm doing some condominiums, small condominiums for young couples. Not that I'm not doing, just that the ratio I have readjusted for my project. And many years ago, I've also completed the David Tao's house in Singapore. Yeah, that was one of the strongest testimonial that I have, in fact, in my portfolio. Yeah. So other than that, I used to be actively involved in social media participation, such as Baijiale, Home Decor Survivor. I was invited as a judge for a few series, and also the mini Baijiale, mini home decor for the kids. Yes. And then I had a chance to be interviewed in Channel News Asia for one of the Sundays program called House of Styles. And yeah, I love that because it's really talking about design. And also designer showcase home concepts, which I don't appear anymore. But now I'm moving into Singapore Tatler Homes and other interior magazines that I hope that, you know, in the next 1 year I can start to feature my works in overseas magazine as well. Yeah, that's about me. And then, okay, talking about how do you approach doing design for kid spaces? As I've mentioned earlier, you have to start to interview the user. Okay, the user can be the parents, can be the kids, in fact, the whole family. Yeah, you have to understand them before you can start doing your design. A lot of us tend to ask the client, what do you want? I think that's a little too generic because sometimes they do not know what they want until you break it down for them. Or some of us may just ask the client, what style do you want? Do you want modern? Do you want industrial? In fact, all these terms are too technical for them. In fact, if you are going verbal interview with them, you have to show them pictures. Because, right, users, they are laymen. They cannot understand us, our language. So you have to, if they start frowning, then you have to start to show them something that, you know, that will excite them. So while you are interviewing the user, you have to really study their facial expression, right, and their body reaction. So the number of occupants is important. age group and gender. How many boys, how many girls, then is there grandparents there? Yeah, you have to understand all this. And then hobbies and preference in colors. Okay, what colors do you like? What brand? What is there any toy character that you like? What kind of toys do you like to play? Yeah, you need to understand that. And likes and dislike. Yeah, what do you like? What do you do not like, especially in colors? Yeah, so that you can avoid all the dislike in your design. I mean, this is for designers to know as well as for the parents to know. Then you can go into defining the theme and the concept. Defining the theme and the concept. And it all comes from, if the parents are very simple, you don't give them complicated stuff. You have to be aligned with their mindset. Yeah. And then to define the space to be designed, if based on all the above requirements that you have already summarized, you will then move into defining the space to be designed for them. Yeah, whether it's a bunk bed or is a single bed orientation. And then their habits, how do they use the space? Yeah, for example, what are the books that you are going to retrieve on a daily basis versus those that you're not going to touch for maybe one week or to 1 month? And for things that are easy to that they are going to use every day, has to be planned in such a way that it's easy for them to retrieve from the bookshelf. Or things that they are going to use very often, it has to be reachable, easily reachable, but yet you have to organize them for them. Organizing storage spaces. You have to hide all the mess for them. You have to categorize it for them. Yeah. And then allergy issues. We always ask them whether do you need rugs? Do you need carpets? You need to understand their health issues as well, because you don't propose something that is causing sensitivity to their nose, their skin, things that they are going to touch. So that's how, when you start asking detailed question, your client will then know, oh, you really know you know your job. You know what you're talking about. You know what to ask me. You care for me. Importantly is you must make them feel that you care for them. Yeah. And
I like
also,
the part that you say that you actually ask about the allergy of the kids, because I think even for myself, my middle child is allergic to I think dust mites,
yeah,
and also bread. Yeah, so I guess it really helps to make the clients. Let's say I'm a client of yours and I'm a parent. It makes me feel that you really look into my needs.
yes.
Not just based on what I like about the colors, but also the daily use of the things around the room.
Yes. Especially for sofas, right?
Mm-hmm.
For our local clientele, they always like to buy ready-made sofas. Right. But of course, if you have to accommodate more than the standard 3-seater or L-shape sofa size, you have to customize in the size that you're comfortable with to house more people. Then you have to be careful with the material selection, especially the fabrics, because a lot of us, we wear shorts in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We are not dressed up at home, right? So you have to feel comfortable, and you have to find a material of fabric, upholstery fabric, that is thick enough to withstand all the stains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also make sure that it is comfortable to the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And next is the character of the user. Yeah, so you have to understand the character of the user, like, because this is directly related to colors. Okay, for character of users is really the colors. And also how do they keep their workspace tidy, how do they keep their beds tidy. You need to understand that. You don't design things that are too complicated for them to use. And also you don't propose colors that they are not comfortable with, that affects their sleep at night. Yeah. So every child is an artist, yes, children, to me, they are artists because they are far more creative than adults. If you realize that when kids, right, when they are young, they are always doing painting, and there's a lot of creativity in their painting their artworks that, you know, even us as adults, we may not be able to do that because they express their thoughts very freely when they draw. Then the next is function. What are the qualities of a functional design? Functional design needs to be tailored to the user needs. Yeah, it doesn't mean that we have one standard rule and that is applicable to all user, because one rule doesn't apply to the other user. Yeah, and then it has to be practical and usable. Okay, user friendly and organized. Our job as interior designer is to help our client to stay organized. I mean, of course, I will always tell them, I can only help you to organize your stuff, right, until the completion of the project. The rest is up to you. But sometimes after a project, right, I will visit their house and then I'll start to remind them to be organized again. Yeah, and that's where they appreciate. Then, of course, coming to a designer's brain mindset and the design thinking approach. First, there are 4 steps. For me, there's 4 steps, but maybe for some other designers, that could be more than that. But I like to keep things simple. So the first step is to know your client well. Second step is to align your thoughts with the client's mind. You must speak the same language. If he's talking about A and you're talking about B, right, then you guys are going into different direction altogether. And then that's where they will start to feel uncomfortable. Are you really listening to me? Or are you in your own world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And are you flexible? Are you a flexible designer?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you very fixative with what you do? Right. So don't ever give them that kind of feeling when you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is to ideate a solution, functional, aesthetic, and aspect. Right. So both function and aesthetic has to come together. We cannot just be doing a functional design without giving them the aesthetic appeal. Right.
Mm.
Because designers' eyes are supposed to look at beautiful things. We are supposed to absorb all the beautiful stuff and very naturally attracted to beautiful things around us. So that's where a layman or a user will not be able to do, and that's why they need us. Okay, and the fourth one is to elevate your client lifestyle quality. Whatever we do in our design, the end result and the objective has to be able to elevate their lifestyle quality.
Yes, probably I can help the parents to put into perspective, because I think it's coming from the expert point of view. Yeah, for the parents, maybe I can just help them a bit to relate to what they can consider when planning the room for the kids without help, because sometimes they may not be able to have the luxury of an ID consultant next to them. Yeah. So I think first of all, know your clients well is to know what your kids wants lah. It's not what you want, because that's your kids' room. So you could ask your kid what they want and really listen to them. Yeah. Align with the kids' mind mean that probably the color choice, and also sometimes kids being kids, they want to display their toys, their books. Yeah. And I like what Kate told me once was to really have space to reach out for things that you always want to get. Yeah. And also to be able to hide things that you don't use, or you use once in a while. So Kate, how do you hide things for kids, like things that they don't always use?
Okay, I can share with you later on with more slides, because those will be the answer to your question. Yeah. So, but basically, in short, to summarize it, we will create drawers, drawer units, and we create doors. I hardly do open shelf, because open shelving collect dust.
Mm.
Yeah, but then for wardrobe especially, right? Nowadays I don't do adjustable shelf. In fact, I try to minimize adjustable shelf. In the past, right, some people they like to provide fixed shelving, but
Mm.
fixed shelving doesn't give you the flexibility of moving the shelving at a various height, right, to accommodate stuff that probably require a taller height to fit in. So people opt for adjustable shelving. But nowadays I realize that adjustable shelving also doesn't work very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's because, right, when they fold their t-shirts or their shorts, right, they cannot reach the one that's at the back. Especially if you're designing a wardrobe that is on the top, you have to put luggages. You definitely need a deeper wardrobe as compared to a standard wardrobe depth, and that's where it will be more difficult for the user to reach out to reach the clothes at the back. And so internal drawer will be the answer to solve their problem.
Mm.
Yeah. And we try to tidy up for them so that they don't have to go and buy organizational compartment that could not fit into the design, right? That may not fit into the design and start to mess up the whole wardrobe.
Yep.
So designers are mostly OCD. Yeah. As in, if it cannot pass our eyes, it cannot pass our client.
Mm. Which I thought is a good thing because there are so much things that we clients may not know, and only
Yes.
the designers can spot it.
Yeah. Another thing is like on, for those homeowners who are staying in condominiums that comes with a bay window. Usually there are a few ways to design up a bay window. Either you treat it as a sitting space where people love to have cushions on it and then lie down and read a book, or they probably clad it with a timber plank, and then so that it allows them to put their bags, right? But what I always like to do for the kids, right, is to build cabinetry spaces around the bay window so that they can use, especially for rooms that you need to fit in probably two kids, study table, and then printers. Where are you going to put all the printers, right? So that's where I will elevate the bay window height from the standard 500 millimeters to probably up to 750 to 800, so that in between, right, I can still have extra spaces for me to keep the papers, and as well as the stationery. And then on top of that, I will on top of this tabletop will be the where the printer is. So these are little things that you can add value to your space constraint.
Awesome.
Yep.
And before you move on to the next slide, I think I also want to add on that I think being a designer needs to be good in math as well, because I think a lot of misconception from the public is that to draw well, you do not need math. Yeah, but I've been looking at the Instagram of kids. You look at the drawings that she has done, you can really um, make one cross eye, like to be able to see the number of the details, the drawings and the numbers. Yeah, so it's amazing, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is designing the process, which it involves consideration in design the kid spaces that are existing space constraint, checking into the existing space constraint, understanding the space constraint, what you can do and what you can't, or how can you overcome it, right? And then maximize the usage of space, right? Durability of the materials that you have to consider, color selection of the room. Durability could mean, for example, right, not just the beddings itself or the window treatments, but maybe like wallpaper, decal,
Mm.
paint finish. What kind of paint finish? Water based or make space, is it easy to clean off, wipe off? Because kids will like to draw on the walls. Yeah, so you have to provide the right solution for the clients. Lighting effect, is it bright enough for them to study? Is it too bright for them to sleep? Is it flexible enough for them to play with the lighting effect during the daytime and the nighttime? So these are the few considerations that you have to really think through when you are doing the design, or getting your designers to do it for you. And the last one will be furniture selection. Don't find things that has sharp corners that will hurt your kids. Things that are more rounded, things that are more lasting, right? So things that don't just serve one function, but probably is able to, maybe some furniture they are able to convert into multiple function. So you can always find flexibility in such design. Okay. So these are some of the slides that I have prepared for the parents and the kids as well. That day you asked me about, I think you highlight to me that you are having problem sharing your spaces with your kids during the circuit breaker period.
I think it's not just a fight of space for space between the children, even the adults are fighting space with them.
Yeah. So these are some of the solutions that I have for you.
Yay!
Yeah. So on the first left image, right? You can do that. You can do that, especially on a long wall. Okay, find the longest wall in your living room. Right? If you are going to work in the living room and you have to watch over your kids, right? So you can have this built-in cabinetry, which is you can use it as a shoe cabinet, probably at a certain section, and then the rest of the compartment can be served as a book storage or your belongings. And then you must have some good task light, working light above your workstation, and either you can choose to combine the workstation, or you can separate them. Okay, because I know some users, right, they like to have their own space. So if you like to have your own space, then this design will work very well, because it's separated by one partition, one center panel storage cabinet. So the second image shows the how a furniture piece can be a feature or on its own when it's in a closed position, and when it's open, you get a surprise, because inside, right, is a storage space, and then when you flip down, it acts as a worktop. Okay, this is furniture designing. Yeah, and you see the dark spot on the left hand side of the table is actually a two pull-out chairs that allows you to just grab the chairs and sit down and just start to do your work. So you see, if you know how to approach the design correctly, it can be fun, it can be usable at the same time. The third image on the right hand side is a customized sofa set, which some people may like, some people may not like. Unless, I was thinking when I was looking at this photo, right, if I were the designer, I probably will make the back tabletop convertible. That means it can be flipped down. Because now it looks like the table is attached to the arms of the chair, and it can be quite bulky and very, very difficult for you to place the furniture in the right positioning. So I think to add on to that, right, we can convert that into a flip down tabletop, and then we can start to hide everything. It's flexible. So these are some interesting ideas for the parents if they want to work in the living room and watch over their kids at the same time, while they can sacrifice the dining table as a communal space for the kids to use. Okay. Next one is the loft bed that integrates play. So also when you decide to do a loft bed, right, you have to take into consideration your ceiling height, whether your ceiling height is able to accommodate that. Okay, so these are the few images that you can have swing, you can have slides in the house.
Oh, this is the dream come true for most kids.
Yes, especially for active kids. Okay, so these are some ideas
Yeah.
I want to share.
Yeah, and I guess they love it because they also have their own personal indoor playground.
Yes. And I'm also very careful with the images that I pick because it has to be aesthetically appealing. Yeah. So these are another few examples of how you can integrate studies below loft bed. Okay. And in fact, just at where the steps are, below the steps you can incorporate some drawer spaces as well, pull out drawers. And then yeah, these are bonding spaces. It's a different usage altogether. So below the loft beds, you can have like a free and easy space where you can bond with your family members, and even to introduce some chalkboards on the walls for the kids to play with. So storages and compact spaces that includes flip down bed from the storage, hidden beds, and then in the middle picture is storages, wardrobe, but the design is done such a way that it is connected to the bed frame. And the third one is using a curtain to show the storage and the hanging space of the wardrobe without making it too hard by doing it in the door panels. Yeah. Integration. These are integration where you can tuck everything to one side, and then you have a storage unit, but you can have a pop-up bed or a pull-out bed even at the bottom, so it can accommodate more people. Integration, bunk bed.
When
These are
you say integration means that the
existing design, the existing provision. Like let's say, for example, you have a wardrobe, let's say, or you do not have a wardrobe. You want to relocate your wardrobe, but you do not want the wardrobe to look like a wardrobe, standalone wardrobe. You can integrate the beds with the wardrobe as
so it's
one
like a
feature,
blend.
one element. Yes.
Oh wow. I
Yeah.
think this really helps people who like their place to be very clean
Yes.
and all
Yes.
flushed.
Correct. Correct. And then theme. This is theme for more for younger kids, and these are very interesting, but it requires more labor to construct this.
Oh, this is like a dream come true for those children who like princesses and castles. Ooh, wow.
Yes, but also at the same time, right, when parents decide to do that for the kids, right, they have to bear in mind that, kids grow up very fast. They have to be mentally prepared that they may have to change the design after a couple of years' time. So this will lead to a major revamp or redesigning work at a later stage, right? But it's a temporary solution to make the kids happy.
Yeah, I mean, for the fact that if the child knows that she's going to get a life-size dollhouse in her room, if I'm the kid, I'll be super excited.
Yes, correct, exactly. And then the next one is the material, choosing of material. And on the left side is a vinyl flooring. A lot of local users, right, they prefer to use vinyl instead of tiles. It's because vinyl are warmer. Vinyl tiles are warm to the skin, and anything that drops on the floor will not break easily. So vinyl is a very good option. And replacement of the vinyl floor is also easy. And especially for owners, right, who probably they are newly married, but they bought a house that comes with tiles, right? Then they can lay over the tiles if they do not want to spend a lot of money into hacking works or demolition works, they can lay over vinyl tiles on top of the existing flooring. Yeah, so that's one. And the second image shows marble. Marble, we have to be very careful because marble are natural and they are porous. So usually people will not want to hack a marble floor. Yeah, so that's where when we choose a material, even for like a worktop, we don't go for marble for the kids is because right, the pen ink can all stain onto on the tabletop itself. Yeah. The third image, right? Third image is the material. The material that we have to consider in selecting. We don't select silk for curtain. It's because, right, when you send silk for cleaning or washing, it will shrink. Okay, so most of the time we will recommend polyester as a material for the fabric. And then cotton, linen, it really all depends and subject to individual likings and also the comfort level. Okay, the last one is leather or PVC, right? PVC stretches at times and it will become loose, especially for sofas. Real leathers are durable and hardy, but also you have to maintain it. You have to always clean it like a couple of months. So these are materials, the common materials that I will usually educate my client with. Choosing of colors. Colors create an important impact on the child. Choosing of colors can range from the cool color palette, which are the blues, whites, gray, green, or black is neutral. White is not a color. White and black are not color. So these are the cool palettes. If you are going for monochromatic graduation tone, then you can play with one single tone, but no, one single color, but of various shades. So this is one option that you can do. Okay, if you want to play safe.
When you say cool color, do you mean that it gives the feeling of like being cool in the room, or it's just
calming? It will give you a calming effect, the very chill effect, cooling. Yes, yeah, something that do not triggers your emotions
like
so
red?
quickly. Yes, yeah, not the Ferrari red. Yes. Then these are warm colors.
Wow, it makes me.
I
angry
prepared
now.
this for you so that it's easy to understand.
Yeah.
So choosing a warm color, because some people ask me, what is warm color? What is true? What is cool colors? Because even for gray, there's shades of cool and there's shades of warm, right? So if you don't choose correctly, it will turn out differently. So pink are usually for girls because it's the easiest to choose, and blue for the boys, right? But some client, they do not know how to mix color. So I'm going to show some example at the next slide.
Yep.
So these are the standard warm shades. These are mixed hues, mixed colors. So you can actually mix the cool colors with the warm colors. If you look at the chart, right, the cool color stands a higher proportion than the warm. And the warm is the accent color. Do you realize that?
Sorry, the warm is the what color?
Warm is, okay, for the first one, for the, on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, we start from this one, right? The green.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bluish green.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is cool shades. But then there's a orange at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, there's the orange at the bottom. So there's only one orange that serves as a warm palette, which we call it a highlight among all the cool shades, right? And on the extreme right-hand side, you see the top, right? There are grays, white. The highest top is also gray, but at the bottom, right, is warm. And you have a red and a pink as a punch. Okay,
So can I say that in layman's term, the warm color is to somehow
try to minimize
the cool
yes.
color. I mean the cool effects.
Yeah, if they want to refrain from going into the graduation tonality like the past two slides, right, that I've seen. Like for example, you don't just want to use one green in a room, then what other colors can you add on to give it a punch, or we call it accent color?
Just one
Yeah.
quick question, because I know that there are many kids also due to HBL, they may need to do more work at home. And even though some of the rooms may not be consciously planned in such a way that the colors really bring out the best in the kid, but if will the color will the existing color combi in the house or in the room affects the mood of the kid?
It really depends. First we have to analyze the existing colors first, and then for example, if the existing color is purple, right, then what colors, and you find that purple is a bit too strong for your kids, right?
Actually, I like purple.
Yeah. So, but you see, it's either white or purple, which is because white is not a color, so any color can work with it, right? But if you want something different, you want something that will smoothen the ambience of the room, you can opt for gray with purple, light gray with purple. If you want something that is even more fun, right, you can work yellow with purple. Yellow with purple. The best way to learn colors, right, is from fashion.
As in clothes.
Yes.
Ah.
How I started training myself in reading colors, right, is start understanding fashion trends. And I understand the seasons. So I use the seasons to work on color development. I used to do that many years ago, and it really works for me. Yeah. Even when I run out of ideas on how I should be, what color palette should I introduce for my Showflats or my projects, right? I will take some time to shop around, and then to see what are the trends in the market right now for fashion. And then I'll bring back all my memories and start to, decide, develop. And of course, I have to consider what my client wants. Yeah, without just simply or blindly applying the colors that I thought it is suitable for them.
I see.
Yeah, so these are some examples of how we can mix the colors together to make a space more fun. You see there's a repetition of a green on the left hand side, left image, and then there's this orange color that serves as a highlight, and then the rest are white. Okay, so yeah, then these are highlights. Highlight could be you work on less than 3 colors. Okay, maybe maximum 2 colors that you use in a room. Okay, so in this picture you can see, like especially the center one, if you are going to do it up in beige, it will be quite boring, right? Because it's very neutral color, very earth tone. But the minute when you throw in a yellow color, it becomes fun. And then of course, why the chair is in yellow is also to connect with the yellow colors that is used on the shelving. So there's some relation to it. Okay, so these are some examples.
Yeah, these are great tips, because in some cases, probably if the parents look around in the house and in the room, the color to the parents is quite down. I mean, you can use the color charts
Yes.
to really throw in the right color to uplift the feeling of the room.
Yes. If they are not certain of what to do, right, the best way is to, like you said, bring a color chart. But you can shortlist few colors instead of just eyeing on one color. Then you can put it next to the existing color. and have a feel for yourself. And what is the feel that you would like to have?
Yep.
Choose a few to select from. Yeah. And then you see on the left hand side is pink shades. So if let's say this room, right, belongs to a boy and a girl, they have to share a room, right?
Yep.
If without the warm gray, it will be really feminine because it's all pink.
Yeah.
So for those homeowners who have a pink room now, and you want to convert it into a more neutral color base, then you can go for something that is on the cool side. Okay, you can choose gray. You can choose even if you put purple, it will still be quite feminine. But if it's light gray, it will still be feminine. So you need something that is stronger to balance it. Okay, pink is not an easy color to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. So I think there's only few color shades that are able to work with pink color. But green can be nice for pink. Yeah, somehow people have not worked on that before, but I feel that if you pick the right shades of green, it will work very well with the pink. And then in the middle image, right, is a blue room, beige, and then suddenly you have this pop terracotta colors. Yeah, the toy on the left.
Back to the green for a short while, because I think for us child, I mean that's what my mom told me, that looking at the greens is good for your eyes. So does it works the same for having green design or colors of green in the room
That would be, yeah.
for the eyes?
That would be nice, but depending on the green shades that you pick. But of course, if for example on the right hand side image, right, if I remove the white and I replace with timber, you have a different feel altogether already.
It's like a forest.
Yeah, but if you want like a Scandinavian touch, then you can go for like a oak color, a very light shade of oak color or beige color. Yes. Then the whole color theme will transform differently. But if you want something that is sharp, like the image, then you just go for white. And then you can throw in a bit of a yellow as a punch. Then this is tips for selecting materials. They must be easy to maintain, durable, comfortable to the skin, and they have to be versatile. They have to be versatile to mix or blend in with the existing current condition, and easy to be clean. That fall under easy maintenance lah. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and that's the end of my slides presentation. And so these are, if you wish to connect with me, you can come to my Facebook community group page, CAT Teachers Interior Design, or my company Facebook page, D Editors Pte Ltd, to understand more about what our company does or what I do. And my LinkedIn in the middle. And then on the Instagram page, I have @Catan_ID, and IG page, The Editors Pte Ltd.
Wonderful. So there are three ways to connect with you.
Yes. And just drop me a message because I will reply.
Awesome.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Yes, I actually thank you for the slides, because I think it's really eye-opening for me. Yeah, to start to learn how to hide things and also how to plan different ways to make sure that the room is more conducive for our children, even going down to the choice of colors. Yeah. So with so many tips, what would be the key takeaway for parents? I mean, if they say, "Oh, now I want to start to tweak some of the things at home to make it more conducive for my kids," so what can they do without tearing the house down?
First of all, start decluttering. Yeah, start to
Elaborate.
identify what you want to keep and what you do not want to keep. Because sometimes when you have too many things at home, right, you want to keep every single thing, there's no way you can change your environment. So you have to start throwing things, right? And then you have to identify and start categorizing them. If you have more than one kid, then you have to start to organize them in such a way to decide the amount of storage that you need for each of your kids.
And anything else you want to share with the parents? Because I think there's so much things to be done.
I would say, give me a second. I would say, right, speak to your kids more to understand their inner thoughts and their inner self, right? Before you decide what to do with their rooms. Yeah, I think that's very important. Yeah. That is a message that I want to send across to especially our local homeowners who usually will make the decision for their kids what they should have in their life. But I think it's probably high time to communicate with them heart to heart, have a heart to heart talk with them, sit down to understand them a bit more on their likes and dislikes, right? Ask them if they prefer a single bed or they prefer bunk beds.
Just curious, will most of the kids say bunk bed so that they can climb up and down?
I have come across kids, right, who doesn't like to climb up and down also, even they are sharing rooms.
Oh,
Because they find it so cumbersome to climb up and down. But but of course, you're right. Sometimes they may be fighting over the higher bed level. Yes, but
right.
of course, having said that, right, we have to survey the site first, as in the room space, whether is it feasible or is practical for you to do too many things, and then and beds, right? Beds positioning also boils down to the feng shui requirement if there are.
Yeah.
Okay, because sometimes parents will say, oh no, the feng shui master say that, the bed has to be this way for this kid and the bed has to be the other way. And of course, colors. Some feng shui do not allow you to use certain colors.
Yeah.
But I always face this, so it's very common. So if you ask me how I deal with colors, right, is I have to still follow what the feng shui requirements needs for them, and then I'll have to work out my way, right, to make sure that their color palette end of the day will turn out right for them.
Yes. At the end of the day, we just want to do something which is a design that our clients wants.
Yeah.
And not what we want.
Yeah. And also I would suggest that keep the design simple because they grow up fast.
Yeah.
So you keep it to the basic fundamentals needs, right, for on the design part, and then the rest, right, you take your time to shop around and to dress up the room. Yeah.
Great. Yes, and I really like the parts that you talk about getting the kids to draw, and then so parents, if let's say if you don't have the habits of talking to your kids for a very long time, probably the next best thing is to draw with your kid, and then from the drawing you can get a lot of info out of the child as well. Yeah. And just in case if you ever connect with kids, I believe that one of the very first thing that she'll ask is, can I see your child's drawing? Yeah.
Yes, I always go into their drawing and their wardrobe. These are the two things that I will go. Yes.
Great. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I guess we have come to the last part, yeah, and I need to wrap up. Yeah, because some of the parents, they may want to hang around, but they need to rush off. So I think we have to respect their time as well. Yeah. So okay, kids, thanks so much for sharing. And I always have one last question for my guest, and something that I will always ask. Yeah, and as you know, we serve a group of parents who teach their children primary school math. Yeah, so right now, PSLE is coming soon, like 5 weeks or less. And then, you know, the kids may feel a bit anxious lah. Yeah. So if I may invite you to go down your memory lane, yeah. So the older kids now walk down the memory lane and you meet the younger kids, the 12-year-old kids. She's so close to you that you can almost touch her leh. Yeah, like she's right in front of you. And she's looking at you in the eyes. What will you tell her? Can be anything, no right or wrong. What will you tell her from the older self to the younger self?
Pursue your dreams. Pursue your passion.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Can I add in one more thing? Is maths is so important.
Can, but the thing is, yes, it's important. But you know, to me, everything that we learn in life, we have to learn to love them.
Well said.
Yeah. So it's not just maths alone. So, but if the kids, okay, if any kids are watching now,
Probably they are. And mommy's
So-
going to come sit here and listen to this talk about maths.
yeah, take your time to learn, right, and discover the beauty of every subject that you're learning. Yeah, do not rush into it, because as in it will take time for you to discover what you like doing. But you know, maths is something that you really cannot live without every single day. Yes.
Yeah, even taking the bus, you need to count your fare. I mean, if you use coins, or you need to buy things at least.
No, even like their saving habits. Yeah, every day they have to count their money. You know how much money goes into the piggy bank. So these are maths.
Yeah. Okay, great. So so with using kids' words, you got to love whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's maths or what. If you're learning that, fully embrace it.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so parents, thanks so much for being here, and kids, thank you so much for your interesting slides. And so now next time, I know how to talk to my ID consultant.
Okay, sure. I welcome you.
Can.
Just check in with me. No
Sure,
problem.
great. Thanks so much.
Okay,
Parents,
thank you.
thanks,
Thank you,
kid.
everyone. Thank
Okay,
you.
don't
Have a good day.
So parents, thanks so much for watching this, and I hope that this session has been fruitful for you in knowing how to better plan your child's room, because I think the like what Kate said, the color theme, the color combination, how you arrange your things will definitely somehow indirectly affect your child's mood. Yeah, so take notes of that as well. Okay, so with that, I'll see you around, and take care and have a good day. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.